Number 2, how to do an essential needs assessment. In this second video of the Essential Needs Assessment Insight series, we will take a closer look at the Essential Needs Assessment to understand the guiding questions and recommended processes to follow. Part 1. Let's start with the 6 key analytical questions that guide an essential needs assessment. 1. What are the population's essential needs and how do people meet them? You need to identify what constitute the essential needs of the population of interest and consider how people typically access and meet these needs. Some needs will be met through the market, for example food. Others, such as education, through public provision. Products and services might be purchased in cash, through debts, or even be self-produced. 2. Which essential needs are unmet and why? Next, you need to understand to what extent the population of interest is able to meet each of the identified essential needs, and also analyze why people are unable to meet those needs. Do they not have enough financial resources? Or are the required products or services just not available? 3. How many people are unable to meet their essential needs? Use the analysis from the first 2 questions to calculate how many people cannot meet their essential needs. You can classify households into different groups according to their degree of vulnerability. 4. Who are the people that are unable to meet their essential needs? Having the number of people does not suffice. You need to describe who the people in need are. Profiling the people that are unable to meet their essential needs is a prerequisite to define targeting criteria in the program design stage. 5. Where are the people that are unable to meet their essential needs? You now know how many they are and who they are. To be able to reach them, you also need to know where they are located. 6. How can households be assisted to meet their essential needs? When making recommendations for assistance, you will have to consider how different assistance programs and modalities can help the population's capacity to meet various essential needs. This means in some cases, partners are better suited than WFP to respond to the gaps in essential needs. Part 2. What are the steps to follow to conduct an essential needs assessment? The process is the same as a typical food security assessment, only the perspective is different in that you are looking at a broader set of essential needs that go beyond the food sector. Follow these steps. Step 1. Set the objectives and define the questions that need to be answered to inform programmatic decision-making. Step 2. Conduct a literature review and analysis of available secondary data, which will also guide the primary data collection where needed. Step 3. Then collect primary data in the following order. A. Qualitative data collection through focus group discussion and key informant interviews. B. Household-level quantitative data collection. And C. Contextualizing results through additional qualitative data collection. Finally, for Step 4, set up a monitoring system to track trends in the population's capacity to meet essential needs. If you observe that the situation and the needs of the population change significantly, you might want to start a new essential needs analysis. Essential needs assessment experts point out there are some important factors to consider, such as, generally it requires more time for preparation because field testing is critical and a more thorough desk review. It is critical to get buy-in from, or even better, to collaborate with relevant partners and stakeholders. Qualitative data collection is indispensable. There are essential needs assessment-specific indicators to collect. You will learn more on this in the 3rd video of the series. The household survey must be based on a methodologically sound sample design to obtain representative results. The expenditure module of the household survey is particularly important. Part 3. The process of an essential needs assessment can be adapted depending on the context. Where there are access constraints or limited availability of time and resources, it is not always possible to cover all 4 steps of an in-depth essential needs assessment. This might, for example, be the case in a sudden onset emergency. In such instances, a rapid essential needs assessment would be more suitable, which often relies on available secondary information and qualitative primary data that can be collected and analyzed quickly. The results are, however, not statistically representative and can only provide a rough estimate of people in need. To learn more about essential needs assessment, visit the VAM Resource Center, where you will find the complete guidance, as well as other relevant resources and practical tools to help you with your work.